How's Kevin King doing?
He's working through the protocol, and he's doing better. But he wasn't out there at practice today.
Gotcha. Because you guys had that illness.
Yeah, he's in the protocol.
What happened? Do you have any idea?
I really don't. All I know is he came to us on Sunday, and he wasn't feeling well, and obviously we're on the road, and had our doctors look at him when we were there, and then I'm back on Monday. They did further evaluations, and that's when they determined and put him in the protocol.
Matt, obviously the most important thing is to win, but how important is it that early in the season here you guys got in a down-to-the-wire game and just had to kind of experience all that and figure out a way to come out on top?
Yeah, I think every game is so important, and especially when you fight through, and it's a roller coaster of emotions as you go through those games. Like, there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and it's so important for all of us to try to stay as even keel as possible. And I'm talking to myself when I say that. But yeah, it showed a lot of character on our team, a lot of resiliency, just to be in that situation, and for our guys to continue to believe and then go out there and execute and kick a big-time field goal to win a game.
Is there any more optimism with Elton this week, or is that a situation that's going to go through the end of the week?
Yeah, I would say it's going to take the entire course of the week to determine whether or not he'll be available.
What about MBS? Same thing?
Yeah, I would say he's in the same boat.
What's the biggest sign of growth you've seen from those young offensive linemen just across the board from week 1 to last Sunday night?
Yeah, they've been in some, at least they've been in a really hostile environment and performed really well, I thought, against a really good defensive line. I think every opportunity to get out on the grass and get those game reps is so valuable for any player, but in particular young players that have a lot in front of them. So I think they handled the situations very well.
What did you think of the production you got out of the pass rush last week?
Oh, much improved, definitely. I thought that there was pretty consistent pressure on the quarterback, even in particular, if you look back at the improvement from week 1 to now, in the transition rushes, when they're doing their play-action passing game, that's where you saw a lot of time for the quarterback, and I thought this past game was so much better. I thought there was so much more push in the pocket, which whether or not you're hitting home and getting sacks, I mean, there's a lot of variables that play into that in terms of, the concept the offense is running, the coverage the defense is in, how tight the coverage is. But I thought the effort was much improved. I want to say that, we cut down substantially on the number of mental errors and on the number of loafs. So that's one thing that we're always going to strive until we get 0 in both categories. So there's always room for improvement, but I thought it was another good step in the right direction.
Aaron had said that the Detroit game, the mood was, it just didn't feel like you guys had won. At least the guys, they not used to it. But this one, could you feel like that these guys, you all came together and got it done when you needed to, and did you feel that excitement in the locker room?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was a ton of excitement. I think any time that you're on the road in a hostile environment against one of the premier teams in the league and you win on a last-second field goal, that is pretty exciting. But, you also have to move on to the next game. And we've got another great opponent coming in here, a team that has been as consistent as any team across the National Football League over I don't know how many years now in Mike Tomlin's era. So we know that they're going to be ready to go, and I think they're a team that it looks like they're going to get a little healthier. They've had some injuries that have really hurt them. So I know we're going to get their best shot, and we're going to have to be ready to go in order to pull out a win.
What has Runyon showed you the last couple of weeks?
Just he's been very, very consistent, and he's gone against some tough competition and has done a great job, both in the run and the pass.
Is it still a weekly deal with him at left guard, or has he earned the starting job outright?
Well, I think that's always, the case in this league when you have competition specifically at certain positions. It's always you always got to earn it. You can never rest. You can't take a deep breath and be like, I've arrived. Otherwise, your play's going to suffer. So, yeah, I think we're constantly evaluating every position in terms of who's going to go out there and start and play for us.
Allen had that big catch early in San Francisco, but what have you thought of the things he's done that don't show up in his stats?
Oh, he has meant so much to this football team. He had the big block on Bosa, on Aaron Jones's touchdown. I think he does a lot of the dirty work, and then he shows up on special teams. He's running down there on kickoff. He was on a punt cover. He's just a selfless guy that, when called upon, you can always count on him, whether it's in the run game, pass game, or on special teams. And we're lucky to have a guy like that.
Matt, do you spend any extra time on an AFC opponents, let's say, than maybe an NFC West team that you might see year in and year out versus a division you don't see for 4 years? What's the prep time like, or difference?
I would say it's the same every week. I mean, you're going to maximize your time, and you're going to look at as much tape as possible. And but it is definitely different when you don't have as much familiarity with a team. Certainly, I want to say it's been since 2012 since I've been on a team that's played the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't think when's the last time Green Bay's played them? Was it 17? So it's been a while. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. It might be a little bit later nights that are spent here to make sure that we're all up to speed and we have everything cross-checked and we feel good about our plan going in, because ultimately you got to put your players in the best position possible, and then they got to go out there and execute.
There were a couple times last year where you guys were at home. Maybe you didn't like your team's effort. Jacksonville's a game that comes to mind. You guys are coming off a big win like that. How do you make sure there's not like a letdown from that week to this one coming up?
Yeah, it's every week in this league. You got to hit the reset button. Our mentality around here, it's to go 1-0, and like we told the team, winning's momentary, and you have to do everything that you can to go out and earn the next win, and that starts by putting in the work. It starts with our preparation, the urgency at which we go about it, and our approach, getting our bodies back. These guys, it's always tough coming off a long trip, an emotional win, that you gotta refocus. But you have to do that every week, win, lose, or draw.
Matt, what has it meant to have Devondre Campbell, both in what he's been able to do as a player, but also his age, his experience, being able to play against the Shanahan's offense and do what he did?
Yeah, I think he's just a steady, calm voice out there on the field. He's really done a great job of taking a leadership role, and he's very, very consistent. Obviously, you can see the production that he's been able to do on the field, and he's come up with some key takeaways, and we're just lucky to have a guy like that. I've always respected him from going back to our days together in Atlanta. I just loved the way he approached the game, and he's a pro, and he just, like I said, we're lucky and fortunate to have him out there for us.